I never imagined that fixing an alien's armor could change my life or the fate of an entire planet. I was a human tinker, barely known outside the maintenance bays of Outpost Sigma-9, content to live my quiet, solitary life among machines and circuitry. The galaxy beyond our sector was wild and dangerous, a place for soldiers and adventurers, not for someone like me. Then the call came. It was sudden. A roar that shook the metal walls of the outpost echoed through the corridors. Who dares approach my armor? The voice was thunderous, commanding, almost terrifying. I had heard rumors of the alien queen long before. Kylira, leader of the Vayrati Empire, fierce, uncompromising, and notoriously unapproachable. No one dared get close to her. Most of the crew fled the hallways. But I stepped forward. The roar turned into a piercing glare as I approached her throne room. Kylira stood there, her armor damaged in multiple places, her usual elegant poise slightly broken by the chaos around her. Her eyes, a brilliant shade of violet, scanned me with suspicion and authority. You are human, she demanded. Yes, I said, trying to sound braver than I felt. I fix machines, and armor, sometimes. Her eyes narrowed. Do you have the skill to repair armor forged in the core of a dying star? That can withstand plasma storms, laser cannons, and gravitic discharges? I can try, I stammered, my voice betraying my nerves. But something in her gaze, fierce, intense, and unwavering, made me feel as though refusing was impossible. Kylira exhaled, a gesture I could almost interpret as reluctant approval. Then step forward, human. Show me if your hands are worthy. I approached her, tools in hand, inspecting the damage to her armor. It was unlike anything I had ever seen, layers of alien alloy, infused with energy crystals, patterns that shimmered with kinetic force. Every dent, every scratch, could compromise her ability to command or survive. And now, it was my responsibility to restore it. Over the next hours, I worked alongside her. She didn't speak much, but her presence was electrifying, commanding my full attention. She moved with precision, occasionally guiding my hand or suggesting a method I hadn't thought of. At first, I was clumsy, intimidated by the alien technology and the weight of her expectations. But gradually, I found rhythm. My hands became extensions of the tools I held, the alien alloy, and the energy crystals. Then the warning alarms blared. A fleet of Vrykal raiders had arrived in orbit, seeking to capture the Queen and claim her territory. Kylira's eyes hardened. They come for me, she said softly, almost to herself. And now, you are part of this too, human. I swallowed hard. I'm ready. Whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. She gave a curt nod, almost approving. Good. Then we move quickly. If the armor is not repaired in time, neither of us will survive the first wave. The tension was suffocating. The raiders' ships began bombarding the outpost, sending shockwaves through the walls. Sparks flew, alarms screamed, and the floor vibrated beneath our feet. I worked faster, improvising repairs, reinforcing energy conduits with whatever stabilizers I could salvage. Kylira remained beside me, her hand occasionally resting on my shoulder to steady my movements. Each touch, brief as it was, gave me courage I didn't know I possessed. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the armor was restored. Kylira's gaze swept over it, analyzing every seam, every layer. Then, without a word, she moved with a grace that defied her size, testing the armor in the hangar bay. Energy pulsed through the suit as she moved, shields activating, blades extending and retracting. Her eyes met mine. Well done, human, she said simply. I felt a thrill I had never known. She had acknowledged my skill. Not just my hands, but my mind, my judgment. In that moment, I realized something profound. I mattered. But there was no time to celebrate. The Vrykal fleet was descending fast. Kylira's voice rang in my ear as she gave commands to her guards. Defend the outposts. The human who repaired my armor will be at my side. Protect him. I followed her as she moved onto the battlefield, her armor gleaming, weapons blazing. I managed to reroute energy from the outpost's power core to her armor, reinforcing shields in real time. The Vrykal were relentless, attacking in waves, but together, Kylira and I formed an unspoken partnership, me, the human tinker, ensuring her survival, her, the queen, fighting with lethal precision. One Vrykal commander broke through the perimeter, charging straight at Kylira. Without hesitation, I activated a defense turret, forcing the creature to falter, giving her the opening she needed. She struck with an efficiency that left me breathless, and in moments, it was over. The raiders retreated, leaving the battlefield eerily quiet. Kylira turned to me, her armor now pristine, yet slightly scorched from battle. Her eyes were bright with an emotion I couldn't quite place. "You have courage," she said softly. "Few humans would have dared remain by my side, let alone aid me in battle. You have earned my trust." I felt a strange warmth spread through me. Her words were unlike anything I had ever heard. Respect, acknowledgement, and something more, something personal. After the battle, we returned to the outpost. Kylira removed her helmet, and her face was illuminated by the soft glow of the alien energy crystals embedded in the walls. She studied me for a moment, then spoke. "Human, you have proven your worth. But the galaxy is vast, and danger is everywhere. You must choose. Will you remain a simple tinker, or will you walk beside me as an ally, learning the ways of the stars?" I hesitated. The life I had known was small, safe, and predictable. But the adventure I had experienced in the last few hours had shown me a world beyond comprehension. I could feel my pulse quicken as I looked at her, standing there powerful, commanding, yet somehow vulnerable when she trusted me. I will follow you," I said finally. Her lips curved into a faint smile. "Then we begin." The days that followed were a whirlwind. I learned the intricacies of her technology, the politics of her people, and the strategies needed to protect entire planets from interstellar threats. Kylira taught me not just with words, but by example, showing me how to move, fight, and think in ways that expanded the boundaries of what I believed possible. I trained tirelessly, and she trained with equal intensity, pushing me beyond limits I didn't know I had. Over time, our bond deepened. It was no longer just about survival or skill. There were quiet moments where she shared fragments of her past, her childhood on a distant, war-torn planet, the burden of leadership, and the loneliness of being feared and revered in equal measure. And I, in turn, shared the human stories she had never heard, small joys, frustrations, and the humor of ordinary life. Then came the test. A coalition of rogue mercenaries, seeking to capture Kylira for ransom, attacked her flagship. The battle was intense, spanning multiple decks and airlocks. I was at her side, patching systems and reinforcing shields as the ship rocked violently from blasts. Kylira moved with lethal grace, cutting down foes with blades that shimmered like liquid metal. At a critical moment, an energy surge threatened to overload her armor. I leapt into action, rerouting power, risking my life as arcs of plasma danced dangerously close. Her hand found mine, steadying me, and in that instant, I realized the trust between us was absolute. Neither would survive without the other. Finally, the mercenaries were repelled. The ship quieted. Kylira turned to me, her expression a mixture of exhaustion and pride. "You have done more than fix armor, human," she said. "You have proven yourself a true partner, in battle and in trust. Few can claim such a bond with a queen." I smiled, a mix of relief, pride, and something deeper I couldn't yet name. "I just did what was needed." Her eyes softened, and for a brief moment, the terrifying queen seemed almost human. "You are remarkable," she whispered. From that day forward, my life was no longer my own. I was a tinker, a warrior, a confidant of the alien queen. My days of solitude were gone, replaced by interstellar adventures, challenges beyond imagination, and a connection that defied the boundaries of species and worlds. I had stepped forward when no one else would, and in doing so, I had found purpose, trust, and a place beside the most formidable being in the galaxy. And as I stood beside her, watching the stars from the command deck of her flagship, I knew one thing for certain: life would never be ordinary again.